Following the surprising ending to Outlander Season 7 Episode 11, a preview for the next episode, Episode 12, followed on shortly after the credits. And I'd say it looks like it's going to be just as explosive and as eventful as what we've just had. With Jamie and John going off together, and it looking like John's going to be telling Jamie something that could disrupt his marriage with Claire. We're also set to see William confronting his real father about his true identity, which looks set to cause more friction between the both of them. Ian heading off with Rachel, and Bree having to deal with Rob Cameron being held captive in her home. There's gonna be a lot at stake as the war also looks set to resume as well. So with that, let's dive into the trailer for episode 12, break it down, and I'll also give my theories and predictions on what I think could happen next. So let's get into it. Here is Outlander Season 7 Episode 12 Trailer Explained. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. The first part of the trailer opened up with a shot of Claire talking with somebody, and they said the line to her, "Folks are fleeing the city, the rebels will be here soon." At this point in time, Philadelphia was under the control of the British Army, hence why Lord John Grey was there and many other British soldiers. I imagine that the British Army are going to withdraw from Philadelphia as the Continental Army looks to regain control of it. I'm predicting that the Battle of Monmouth is just around the corner in the show. This was a battle that took place on June 28, 1778, and it was considered to be part of the Philadelphia campaign. This is around the time period that the part of the show that we're watching is currently set in, and it ultimately leads to the British Army's withdrawal from the area, so I could see that taking place in the next couple of episodes. The next part of the trailer was then focused on Jamie going to meet somebody called Colonel Morgan. Colonel Morgan was considered to be one of the Continental Army's most valuable and most respected tacticians and commanders of the most successful rifle corps in the war. Within the episode, it looked like Colonel Morgan wanted Jamie to meet somebody. As of now, we don't know who it could be. However, we know that he was close with George Washington. So I'm wondering if we're going to be seeing George Washington making an appearance on screen and being the very person that Jamie's going to be introduced to. There was a shot of Jamie on horseback with somebody, so I'm imagining that's both Jamie and Morgan heading off to find the person that he's going to be introduced to. The next part of the trailer then had Jamie meeting with Claire in Philadelphia. Claire looked in an upset way and she screamed at Jamie, "I thought you were dead." I believe this is probably going to be following on from him finding out that Claire got married to Lord John Grey, and maybe even after him finding out that they were intimate with one another. I'm going to imagine that whilst Jamie has John held hostage and is trying to flee the British soldiers, Lord John will reveal what happened whilst he was away. This is something that is definitely going to break a part of Jamie's heart, and even though she'll tell him that she didn't do it with the intent of hurting him or to move on quickly and was doing it to just survive and because she was grieving, I don't think that will make things any easier for him. Do I think it will have catastrophic ramifications for the both of them? No, of course not. But I think it will definitely cause some temporary tension. Following this, we then saw William looking at himself in the mirror. This is a shot that is very symbolic of him pretty much looking at himself and not knowing who he truly is, because in the previous episode he found out that Jamie was his real father and it didn't go down well with him. He then said the line, "My entire life has been a lie," and we saw him kicking over the table in the hallway, showing that he was frustrated with the news that he'd received. I'm imagining he's going to be saying this to Lord John Grey, as John is the person he's going to feel has been lying to him throughout the entirety of his life, because he always knew that Jamie was his father and he said nothing about it. There was also a shot of William being intimate with somebody later on in the trailer. I think we're going to be seeing William spiraling out of control now. He's just found out that his father is Jamie, somebody that he viewed as a traitor of the crown and was on the opposing side of the war. He also can't be with Rachel because her heart lies with Ian, despite the fact that William cares deeply for her. So not only is he going to be undergoing an identity crisis, but he's going to be feeling like he's all alone and won't know who to trust. So this is where I think this moment's going to come from. After this, there was then a scene of what looked like the Continental Army embarking on a battle. Could this be the Battle of Monmouth that seems like could be on the horizon? That could well be the case of this shot. After this, there was then a scene of Jamie and William confronting one another, and it looked like it got heated. William despises Jamie, and he even feared what would happen with Lord John marrying Claire because of her association with the enemy. And now he's obviously just found out that his biological father is on the opposing side of the war, so it's something that's not sitting right with him. And I imagine he's wondering what it means for him. He's probably going to want answers, and that's why he's going to be in this heated exchange with his father. The trailer then closed with Jamie saying a line to Claire, "Are you my wife?" And she responded by saying, "How could I not be?" This shows that Jaime is definitely going to be getting told by Lord John Grey about what happened whilst he was away, and it's going to be hurting him. When it comes to the other storylines that didn't make it into the trailer, we've got Roger and Buck still in 1739 as they're looking to find Roger's father, Jeremiah. They don't know that Rob Cameron and Jeremiah didn't actually go through the stones and are still in the time period that they left, so they're still going to be wandering the land thinking that he's going to find his son. This is something that I don't think he's going to find out about, because it's going to connect to the wider story with Bree and Rob. However, I do think there's going to be a shift, and I think there's going to be a focus on him looking to find his father instead. With regards to Bree and Rob Cameron, this is something that I think we'll also see getting developed, despite the fact that it wasn't included in the trailer. Within the novel, Bree does end up holding Rob Cameron as a prisoner in her house with the hopes of finding where he left Jeremiah. However, Rob Cameron does actually manage to get out of the house and the restraints that he was in. He also eventually goes to get a group of people together with the hopes of getting the information about the Jacobite gold out of Bree. But she'll ultimately flee her home and go through the stones with Jeremiah and Amanda with the hopes of finding Roger. This will pose the question of which time period will she end up in. Will she go to the 1770s where her mother and father are, or will she end up in the 1730s with Roger and Buck? I think it will be the 1730s because Roger will need some kind of closure with his hunt for his son, so that'll be something that'll be exciting to see. The final thing that will probably be getting explored is going to be around Ian and Rachel. There was one shot of Ian getting off of a cart which had members of the British Army on, and he was putting his weapon away. We know that Ian is on the side of the Continental Army, and with that army coming for the British Army, it's going to be interesting to see how he acts. He has a deep love for Rachel, which has started to get explored in the show more, so I feel we'll see that progressing forward too. For now, based on the trailer, this is what I feel is most likely going to occur in the next episode. I imagine it's going to be heavily focused on Claire and Jaime and the disruption that's going to be going on following him finding out that she got married whilst he was away, and also the friction that will be there between William and Jaime. It feels like there is a battle that's on the horizon as well. Within Season 7 Part 1, the final few episodes that were focused on the Battle of Saratoga were really strong, and it provided a slightly different element to the show. So I'm hoping that exciting edge will return, and we'll see Jaime participating in the Battle of Monmouth and supporting the Continental Army once again. So, there you have it, Outlander Season 7 Episode 12 Trailer Explained. If you want to see more videos on Outlander, then click on the card in the top corner. I'm breaking down every episode and there's an entire playlist there. Or alternatively, you can head over to my channel where you'll find them all. And finally, if you'd like to see what I rate the latest movies that don't quite make the cut to getting a dedicated video, then head over to my Letterboxd profile. It's where I rate the latest releases in real time. What do you think will happen next? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. As always, thanks for tuning into the video and I'll see you in the next one.